I know I throw around the word simple quite a bit, but these Chinese chicken wings are just that. The recipe is super easy to put together. There is a few ingredients to go in, but they're all ingredients that you should already have, or you can go get them and they're easy to get. Plus they last a long time, so you don't have to worry about them going off. Other than that, let's go straight into it. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, starting out, what we have here is 1.2 kilos of wings. We're going to separate the wingette from the drumette, which is what we call them in Australia. I know in America you call them flats and drums, but we all know what we're talking about. We're going to obviously separate that, so we need to locate that joint bone. It's actually more off towards the flat side. You'd think it might be right in the center, but it isn't. And all we have to do is get our sharp knife in there, push straight down, and you'll go smoothly through that joint just to separate them into the wingettes, or the drumettes, or the drums and flats. All right, to start off our marinade, we're going to add in 10 milliliters of sesame oil. This is going to add a deep, nutty flavor. 40 milliliters of Shaoxing wine. This eliminates any unpleasant raw meat smells, as well as adding an aromatic, rich flavor. If you can't consume alcohol, you can also substitute this for chicken stock. 40 milliliters of soy sauce, or you can use reduced sodium soy sauce just for that umami flavor. Don't recommend using dark though, it's a little bit too overpowering for this recipe. For sweetness, add in 25 grams of brown sugar. You can substitute it for white sugar, but brown sugar caramelizes really well in a recipe like this. 30 grams of oyster sauce for a nice umami and sweetness. 30 grams of hoisin sauce to create a nice powerful glaze. 60 grams of tomato ketchup for a nice tang and sweetness, also increasing moisture to coat the chicken. 20 grams of sambal oelek. This is just a nice chili sauce or a chili paste. If you don't like chili, you don't have to use it. And obviously, it adds chili. And then last but not least, this is 1 gram of Chinese 5-spice powder. It's a combination of star anise, cinnamon, cloves, fennel, and Szechuan pepper. For the next part, we're going to need 5 cloves of garlic, as well as 20 grams of ginger, and I'm not going to peel the ginger in this one. We're just going to use the whole thing to reduce waste. As for both the garlic and ginger, we're then just going to run these along a fine microplane to create a paste. You can also do it on a fine box grater. Just make sure it's a paste though, just because it releases a lot more flavor as that allicin compound's broken down a lot more. Now once everything's in, all we have to do is just give this a quick whisk around just to break up the garlic, the ginger, the chili, and the sugar. And obviously just make sure everything is evenly combined. Once you have that done, we'll then add those chicken wings into that marinade. Then we'll get our clean hands in there and get in there nice and deep like, making sure everything is really well coated. Now we're going to allow these to marinate for about 20 to 30 minutes. Don't let them marinate any longer than that, just because the sodium levels in the soy sauce will actually extract too much moisture, and then they'll steam in the oven, and they just won't get that nice caramelization that we're looking for. Now once you're ready to cook, we'll just get our chicken wings out of the marinade. Just drain off a little bit of that marinade. We don't want to put it all onto the tray. Then we're just going to spread these out, making sure that they're not sitting on top of one another. If you do need to use a separate tray, just use 2, it's completely fine. With these now, let's take them over to the oven, and we're going to bake these on the top shelf, placing them in there just for 20 minutes, just to get that nice little caramelization starting. Now in the meantime, we'll prepare our garnishes. What I have here is 1 spring onion or scallion. Now I usually separate the green stem from the white root end, but this time we're just going to thinly slice the whole thing on a slight angle to create diamond or oval shaped pieces. This is going to be used as a garnish. You don't have to use this, and obviously I am only using 1 in this recipe. Don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch for that. And sometimes you can ask like a greengrocer or even your supermarket if you can just purchase 1, but it's up to you if you want to use it or not. Now what I have here is 1 bird's eye chili. These are quite spicy, and if you're not a fan of the heat, I don't suggest you use them. But what we're going to do right now is just remove that stem and then slice these into thin circles the whole way across. If you wanted to mellow it down a little bit, you can remove the seeds by slicing it in half lengthways and then just scrape them out and then just continue slicing as per normal. But I do suggest leaving them in if you are a fan of the heat. Now after 20 minutes, we'll have a nice bit of caramelization starting and also some color as well. What we'll do then is we'll grab a brush and that remaining marinade and then just brush this over those chicken wings just to give it a little bit of a refresh. You won't need to use all of the marinade now because we are going to do this again, and you can also flip the chicken as well just so you get that even caramelization all over. These can then go back into the oven. And what we're going to do now is we're going to pull them out after 10 minutes, baste them again, and then put them back in for a final 10 minutes. So all up, the cooking time is 40 minutes. Now after 40 minutes in total, we then have these beautiful chicken wings. And as you can see, they have that beautiful caramelization all over. We can then serve these up into bowls or plates or eat them straight off the tray if you really wanted to. Make sure you stack them nice and high. And obviously if you're serving this as a side or just something to put as a table filler. You can do it in one bowl or you can do it in multiple bowls, serving multiple people. But if you're like me, you can probably eat this whole lot on your own. And then make sure you drizzle over any of that leftover sauce that's on the tray, just for extra flavor, as well as a nice little glaze to make these look nice and shiny. It's then up to you. You can sprinkle over a few sesame seeds, give a little pop of color, as well as a little texture. And you can toast these as well to get that enhanced nutty flavor. Let's then garnish with that spring onion or scallion that we cut up at the beginning, as well as that chili, obviously if you like chili. This then leaves us with this absolutely stunning dish. Beautiful chicken wings, amazing color, and they smell absolutely fantastic. And the only thing left to do is, of course, we can then dig in. If you like chicken wings, you have to try this recipe. The flavor and texture combination is perfect. There's a little bit of a crunch on the surface of the chicken from that caramelization. And then when you bite into it, you just get that juicy chicken that has so much flavor as well. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.